The White House responding to protests across the country, demanding that President Trump, now that he's in the White House, release his tax returns, just as presidents have done for decades now. The protesters at those rallies say they are determined to keep up the fight. In the meantime, another first for the president, the traditional egg roll at the White House today. But as we mentioned, the White House was pressed. Are those taxes coming? And here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
President Trump today signed autographs at his first White House Easter egg roll, mixing holiday tradition with tough talk while standing next to the Easter Bunny.
We will be stronger and bigger and better as a nation than ever before. We're right on track. You see what's happening, and we are right on track. So thank you, everybody, for being here.
But as the president publicly welcomed all of those young egg rollers, his administration is facing heat now for keeping private the names of people visiting the White House. It's a departure from the practice of the Obama administration, which regularly released White House visitor logs with rare exceptions for reasons of national security.
We maintain the same policy that every other administration did coming up here prior to the last one. And the last one, frankly, was a faux level of doing that, because when you go through and you scrub everyone's name out that you don't want everyone to know, that really is not an honest attempt at doing it.
But critics say the move defies the president's promise of transparency.
Hey, hey! Donald Trump has got to go!
They also point to Trump's refusal to release his tax returns. Over the weekend, Tax Day protests popped up around the country. And at a town hall meeting today in Little Rock, Republican Senator Tom Cotton got an earful when he tried to defend the president.
As far as I'm aware, the president says he's still under audit. And he said he's going to release them when they're done. But he's also...
So will his tax returns ever be released?
You always talk about, well, under audit, the president says under audit. Is it time just to say once and for all, the president is never going to release his tax returns?
We'll have to get back to you on that.
You won't, I mean, really?
Really?
So he may?
No, I said I'd have to get back to you on that. I think that he is still under audit. The statement still stands.
Sean Spicer says he'll get back to you, John. John Karl live at the White House. And the White House and President Trump both appear not to be wavering on this one. So if he doesn't release his taxes, he'd be the first sitting president in decades not to do so?
The first president, David, since Richard Nixon not to release his taxes, which means we know less about this president's sources of incomes, about his financial ties both in the United States and abroad, his charitable contributions, and of course, we know nothing about how much he actually pays in taxes.
All right, John Karl at his post at the White House.